Hi, my name is Scott Corry. This presentation answers the question, how might education mediate difference and dominance? I'm going to describe the events that led up to and followed the Cronulla riots. I'll then explain how I would use this event as curriculum. On December 4th, 2005, a fight between 3 surf lifesavers and 4 Lebanese men occurred at Cronulla Beach. A conflict arose as the Lebanese men verbally abused local women with offensive, sexually explicit remarks. The lifesavers insulted the Lebanese men, saying things like, "Lebs can't swim," and other comments that I won't repeat right now. After the incident, the media, mainly the tabloids and talkback radio, fanned the flames. In the days that followed, locals invited patriotic Australians verbally and by random text messages sent all over the country to get together and take back the beach. On December 11th, about 5,000 young Australians converged on the beach, waving and draped in Australian flags, singing songs like Waltzing Matilda and Advance Australia Fair, and chanting, "No more Lebs, kill the Lebs, get Lebs off the beach," and various offensive racial insults. Some men had stripped to the waist and painted obscene slogans about Allah and the Prophet Muhammad on their bodies and attacked people of Middle Eastern appearance. On December 12th, a group of Lebanese Australian men gathered at Punchbowl Park, armed with guns, machetes, baseball bats, knives, chains and iron bars. They launched a revenge attack by smashing shops and cars and threatening people who got in their way. Some people were physically assaulted. In 2006, a New South Wales police report called Strike Force Neil found that 2GB talkback radio had incited the riots in the days before the main conflict on the beach by making sensational comments against Australian Lebanese. 4 days before the riot, Alan Jones was quoted as saying, "It seems the police and council are impotent here. All rhetoric, no action." My suggestion is to invite one of the biker gangs to be present in numbers at Cronulla train station where these Lebanese thugs arrive. It'd be worth the price of admission to watch these cowards scurry back to the train for their return trip to their lairs. Australians old and new shouldn't have to put up with this scum. In media reports that followed, reporters changed from referring to the ethnic group as Lebanese and started referring to them as Muslim. This was an unsubstantiated generalisation. Some academics have condemned the riots as un-Australian, whilst other academics have depicted it as a white male empowerment and territorial claim. In the weeks that followed, there were numerous clashes and bashings. Equally, there were numerous inflammatory reports in local and national media. To use this event as curriculum, I would ask the class what they think the riot was about. I would ask them before they saw the footage or heard my description of the event what they know about the riots. I would ask them questions like who was in the right, who was in the wrong. Then I would show them the footage and describe the events that led to the riots. After this, I would ask if their opinions had changed at all. I would ask them if anything has changed since the riots, or are the same feelings still there. Is this intolerance acceptable? Should other cultures be forced to be assimilated into our culture? Do these young people have any cultural capital? What are binary opposites in the axis of identity here? What is in the zone of difference? Do they believe that the white ethnicity is still the dominant culture in that region? After the discussion, we would do a mapping exercise. In this exercise, I would ask them where they come from. What is their heritage? A map would be provided and they would put a pin in the map, or maybe more than one if they have a mixed background, indicating where their family had come from. We would do an appearance chart where we would record things like hair colour, eye colour, skin type, for example brown, white, fair, olive, etc. I would ask them what is a typical Australian? What is the dominant racial class or ethnic group in our classroom? After this, I would get the students to deliver a short presentation, maybe 2 minutes long, on their family culture and traditions. What do they celebrate? What do they typically eat? After this, we would have a class discussion on their differences, mostly discussing whether these differences are good, bad, or are just differences. Do they make us better or worse? Do they make us more or less Australian? Lastly, to make sure we are tolerant and accepting of all differences in the class, and to make sure that no particular group becomes dominant, the students, with my guidance, would discuss what the rules for our class should be and also decide what consequences should be put in place for those who don't follow the rules. In conclusion, using the Cronulla rights as an example, I believe we can use education to mediate difference and dominance. Thank you.